Welcome to World on a String Designs. I'm Alicia. Today I'm going to talk all about my spring knitting plans for 2025. So one of the things I've learned about planning out my knitting is that I really need to be working a season ahead. And I've learned this because I'm knitting the Winter League cardigan, which is a great project and I enjoy it very much, but I'm going to have it done right when it's probably a little too warm to get any good use out of it this season. So it's March here. We're about, I think today is March 11th, and it's starting to warm up. And a big bulky yarn like Cascades 128 is really better suited for some cold weather. So I will probably get to wear it a few times. It's also not finished yet, but really instead of working on it in a winter sweater in the winter, I should have been working on it in the fall. So as I'm looking ahead to my spring 2025 knitting plans, I am going to be working on summer knits. Now, I'm especially excited about this because I'm going on a cruise at the beginning of 2026. And it's going to be in the Bahamas, I believe. I want some nice lightweight knits to wear, so something that I might wear in Maine in the summer would likely be appropriate for a cruise. So especially motivated for that reason. So first up for the spring knitting is I will be continuing with my solo sock club. So right now I have the March club on the needles and I'll continue to do those throughout the whole year, but also during the spring. Also the treadmill knitting, I will continue that, and that'll be kind of random, right? The more I use the treadmill, the more projects I'll have. Pretty much probably going to be socks is what I usually knit. I mean, I guess I could throw another project in there, but for now, usually what I get most excited about is pretty sock yarn, and I want to buy it, but I also want to work down my stash. And the treadmill knitting, it sort of checks two boxes at once. So I can get the sock knitting done and allow myself my pretty yarns, but I'm also getting some exercise in, which, let's be realistic, if I had to choose between knitting and the treadmill, exercise loses every time, right? So having those two things at the same time is great because it definitely keeps me motivated to keep getting my exercise in. So aside from those two ongoing efforts, the first pattern I've chosen is the Hetafude cardigan, and this is by Hiroko Fukatsu. And this is a gorgeous cardigan. It's been in my favorites list on Ravelry for years, and I'm finally gonna do it. I thought this would be a really great pattern or garment to wear on the cruise. So it's sort of like a 3/4 sleeve, and it'd be great when you need just like maybe I'm dressed up and fancy. I think it also goes with like some more casual wear as well, but it'd be great for just going out on the deck and there's a little bit of a breeze or it's just a little chilly. I think it'll be perfect. So I'm super excited. The lace pattern is amazing. So that is one that I've chosen. Now, I do have a few candidates in my stash for yarn, but I'm not sure any of them are really a wonderful fit. So this pattern calls for Tosh Merino Light, which is a single ply yarn. And just what I know from experience is a single ply yarn looks really great in lace. It helps that lace just really open up. And you don't have to block it as aggressively. And it looks amazing and you tend to get really good drape. So I have a few yarns in my stash that'll work. I have Tosh Merino Light in my stash, but the color is really dark. And I feel like on this type of cardigan, a lighter color will be better. So I think on this one, I may order some yarn in a color that I think is gonna work best for how I wanna wear the garment. As I said, it calls for Tosh Merino Light, and I might be tempted to go with one of my favorite dyers is On the Round. And they have, I think it's called Plush Singles. And that's a very similar weight. It's also a single ply. It's a very similar yarn. And so I may go with that. I'll probably go with one of the two. But yeah, so that's my plan for yarn for that. The next pattern that I have chosen is the V-Back Tee, and that's by Jamie Hoffman. And that also calls for Tosh Merino Light. I do have some yarn in stash that'll work. It's actually what the pattern calls for, and I picked it out with this pattern in mind ages ago, so I have it ready to go now, and that should be great. So I'm super excited to be pulling something from stash. The next one I have is, the pattern is called Palmer, and the designer is Alicia Plummer, and I actually got this as a kit at Netta Spa years ago. So this is, Netta Spa is like a February type like gathering or retreat in Freeport, Maine. And I attended it, oh gosh, I don't even know, like 2016, 2014 maybe. And I picked up this kit, and I still would love to make it and wear it. And these are the colors for what I have. Hopefully this is showing up okay. Never really can tell until I edit, but it's shaped, we'll open it up too. I'm not sure if it is easy to see with the plastic what the true colors are. So there's that. And this is 65% silk and 35% linen. So that I thought would also be great for wearing on the cruise and just during the summer, right? The last one is the Busan Tee by Igo Knits. And this I have also is going to be fed from the stash machine. So this is Juniper Moon Farms. The yarn is called Damask, and the colorway is Coral Bells. So this is going to be a bright one, but I just love the cable down the center. It's got a nice big cable. So these are my plans for spring. So I'm generally thinking about a quarter, right? And the whatever yarn I purchase for the Head of Fude, that will be my one purchase for the quarter under my stash down goals. So if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out up here. I'll put a card up and you can link to it. I have this enormous stash. It's very embarrassing how large it is, and I'm trying to work it down because I do have really great things in there. And actually when I pulled this kit out so I could show it to you, I was amazed again at how much fun stuff I have in there. So I do really want to make an effort to be knitting down my stash because there's a lot of really fun stuff in there and I can make lots of pretty things. So moving along, let's talk about my whips. So first up on the whips, I have the Poet Socks, and this is the March Solo Sock Club pattern that I'm working down. And I'm just going to give a quick sneak peek. I don't want to give away too much because I'll do a reveal at the beginning of April with the finished socks and then reveal the new yarn. But this is what I've got so far. You know, lace looks a little funny until you block it, but I love this pattern. This is great. I would highly recommend it if you have been thinking about making it. Again, that's by Sari Nordland, and it's the first pattern I've knit of hers, and I'm completely smitten. It's well written, and the design is gorgeous. And she does have a number of different patterns with that pattern. She's put it on a bunch of different garments. I want to say there's like a scarf and a sweater and probably like a pullover. I think there were a couple versions of a sweater type garment. But yeah, it's gorgeous, and the lace and the pattern just comes out beautifully. So I might have to go down that rabbit hole a little bit in the future as well. So I did cast on another sock, and this is just kind of like a bonus thing. So you probably heard me talk about before that I have a vanilla sock, Never Really Too Far Away. So I have this one. This is just a vanilla sock. I did do the tubular cast on these ones. It gives that really nice professional looking edge. Normally I just do a long tail cast on with a 2x2 rib, but I tried these on the Poet Socks and I liked them, so I did it on here as well, and so that's a 1x1 rib on that. And again, just vanilla socks. So these I can kind of knock out, and whenever I'm doing something that I could be knitting, but I don't quite have the bandwidth available to be referring to a pattern, then I like to have a vanilla sock nearby. So there's that. And again, I can't do my treadmill socks because the rule is I only knit them on the treadmill. Speaking of treadmill socks, I think I show these later too, but There's that. I'll save the rest because I do show them later in a different clip. So yes, Treadmill socks. It's my handy bag that I keep them in. There's a link down below if you would like a similar bag. So my Winter League pullover. This is coming along. It is coming. It is nearly done. I would very much like to just knock it out. I don't know how much of that you can see. So I'm on the sleeve, one sleeve, and it does have a split hem. So I've bound off, completed the hem and bound that off. So that's great. And then I just have the sleeves to finish, and then the cuff on the neck. And I think it is a folded over neckband. So I've not done one of those before, so I'm looking forward to it. I really like the way they look. So that's the Winter League. Again, it's so close to being done, and most of our really cold weather has passed. So this is a big bulky sweater, and if we have a day that is a little chilly, I could probably get away with wearing this sweater and maybe without a coat. But otherwise it's probably going to end up just being put away until winter. So hopefully my work a season ahead strategy will work out a little better. I do know for these summer knits that I'll have a chance in the winter to use them on that cruise, and well, let's at least hope that the weather is agreeable and nice and warm so that they are appropriate for the weather. I do also have my perennial hat by Alana Dacos, and I haven't done anything on this since the last time I updated you guys. So I usually do my knitting sort of by priority. So if there's an opportunity to knit and I am doing something else, I'm going to do that, which is usually vanilla socks. Other than that, my priority is getting my sock club rounds in, and then my treadmill knitting, but I'm just trying to make time to exercise. So in my downtime, then it's going to be like whatever project I'm working on, which is going to be right now the Winter League cardigan. But the handspun hat is a little lower priority, so I haven't touched it. And then I do have the scrappy blankie. I'll just put up the same photo as last time because I think I might have knit 2 rounds on it. Nothing impressive. Again, that one is probably always going to be the lowest priority. I might do it a little more in the winter when it's cold, and because I could put it on my lap and keep it warm, but it's getting to the point, it's quite large, and I don't like to take it out of the house because it's just such a pain to cart around. I actually have it in like this huge bag. It's like could go away for a weekend with this bag. This is quite large. So next I'm going to put in some footage here of me opening a few packages. Hi, so here's past Alicia, and I wanted to show you the Treadmill socks, the first set that I finished. And I'm recording this separately because I finished the socks and I want to cast on new ones, and I also want to show you the yarn I'm using before I cast on. So this will be cobbled together. Here are the finished socks. Again, this was from Maine Yarn and Fiber Supply, also known as One Lupin in Bangor, Maine. And I apologize because I can never really tell while I'm filming how well the colors are showing up. They don't really appear the same to me as they do when I edit. So here are the socks. They're just vanilla socks. I don't get fancy when I'm knitting on the treadmill because I'm kind of, you know, walking on the treadmill and don't want to get hurt. But I do love some good vanilla socks. This was the yarn that I had left over, so there was still a good amount. I did use the mini minder. And again, this was Pemaquid, and the colorway was Botanical. One of the things that I really thought was kind of fun about this first set of socks, and I didn't plan this, but I feel like the socks just ended up matching my bag really well. And the whole time I was working on them, that was something that I had noticed. So again, Botanical from One Lupin. I'll link it down below. I don't know if this colorway is on their website. I did happen to pick it up in the store in Bangor, Maine. And, but hopefully it'll be on their website, and then you could have a link to just click in if you want to find that particular colorway. But all of their colors are gorgeous, really, so you can't go wrong with any of them. And yeah, so let's unbox the next one, shall we? So this was a monthly box that I ordered from Oakwood Knits. They're based out of California. And they offer a monthly subscription. And I think you can order the recurring subscription or just the 1 month. I'm pretty sure what I ordered was the 1 month. It was the February colorways. And I did order it with the contrasting mini skein. Okay, so this is the yarn. This is Ghibli Sock Club, which I'm not familiar with that. I know that's probably like some sort of fan show or series or something. I'm just not familiar with it. So if you're a fan, I apologize. And but the yarn is gorgeous. And so the set is called My Neighbor Totoro, and the mini skein is called the Bus Stop. I'm sorry, the main skein is called the Bus Stop. And the mini is called, I think it's M-E-I, May. But aren't those pretty? So these are going to make some great socks. I always, when I use a contrasting color, I always go back and forth. So I use them on, I prefer a heel flap and gusset. So I always use them on the heel and on the toe. And sometimes I do them on the cuff, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I feel, honestly. So I'm not sure yet what I'll do. I will know probably tomorrow when I cast on. And also in the set, we have a sticker. And this is gonna get drank tonight. Stash Holiday Chai. I'm a big tea fan, so this is great. So, here we have it, the Oakwood February 2025 sock set. Here I am in another outfit because right after I filmed last night showing off my Treadmill socks and my new reveal for the new yarn, this came in the mail today. So I got a yarn Bliss box. Now I'm not sure if I just got into a little too much wine and ordered 2 things and forgot I ordered 2 things. I don't know, but it's here, so I think we should open it. You guys know I love chickens. We'll just hold it up. This is what we get to start. So let's pull it out. So it's all sort of wrapped up in the paper with a little envelope. And there's this with a gorgeous rooster on there. I freaking love roosters. I have 4. I have enough hens for all of them, don't you worry. All right. Guys, this is amazing. So this one is called Which Came First. This is the solid. And this one, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so terrible at this. This one is Backyard Chickens, which you guys know I love me some backyard chickens. So this is like the perfect first box for me. So this is their Hardy sock, and it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And I don't know if you guys spotted it, but there's chickens on the tissue paper. So I will be saving this because I love it. I won't ever give it away. This is just for me to look at. Just kidding. Okay, so let's open the bag. We have the rooster postcard, and it says, "This March 2025 box is inspired by backyard chickens." And We have the Backyard Chicken and or Which Came First yarn by the Yarn Bliss box. Obviously I got both because I have zero self-control. Also in the bag, you guys are gonna love this, chicken needle stoppers, stitch stoppers. There's also a chicken pin, which I don't know if you could tell, it's not really focusing great, but the chicken has a ball of yarn, so it can come live on my farm. And then there also is, oh my gosh, a chicken sticker. Look at that. And it's like, there we go. I forget what these are called with the poofy hairdos. Crested, maybe? But one of the bouffant chickens, and it's got like colored hairdo, and it's wearing a scarf. It's adorable. Sort of like Hey Hey, I think, from Moana. But a little bit different coloring. So that's the sticker. So, this is great. I am so excited. I cannot wait to cast this on. And since I haven't even uploaded this video yet, I will show you. This is what I did this morning on the treadmill. And so I did opt to do the colored cuff. And that's how far I got. This was an hour on the treadmill. So I'm not the fastest knitter. I'm not the fastest walker. But I get them both done and we'll take it, right? And these are the colors again. So this was the Oakwood Knits Ghibli, I think. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I think it's like a show with characters or something like that. It reminds me of, like the artwork that is shown with it reminds me of sort of like Ponyo. My kids were really into Ponyo when they were little. So it seems like a similar animation style. But I'm just not familiar. So I apologize if you guys know what it is. I just don't know. But I'm sure it's awesome. It looks really cool. I'll look it up and then I'll have another thing to watch. But I just really love the colors. So that's that. So this is what I'm excited about right now. I'm pretty sure for the Oakwood Knits that I ordered just one box. A one-off. But I think for the Yarn Bliss box, I think it's a recurring subscription. So the whole point of this treadmill thing, doesn't count as stash yarn, was that I have to use it. So I think what we'll do, I just didn't know like when either one of them would ship, and I think I forgot that I ordered two, or that I ordered one when I ordered, I don't even know what order that went in. So I think what I will do is obviously I've got this on the needles, I'll work on this. And then I will hope to get this going before the next one comes. So if I have these on the needles before the next one arrives, we'll call that a success, right? So the point is to keep me excited so that I knit more, so that I walk more, which is going great, by the way. So I started out doing about half an hour a day, and then I find, especially if I'm turning a heel, like once I start turning the heel, I don't want to stop. So I think the longest I did was like 105 minutes. And that was just because I wanted to finish turning the heel, and I like to turn the heel and then pick up the stitches and have it ready to go before I put it down. It's just like a quirk with my sock knitting. I do that whether I'm on the treadmill or not. So that, and then when I finished a sock, if I got close to the toe and got close to finishing it, I think there was another time I did like 90 minutes, just so I could finish the sock. So it's working as intended, but I do feel a lot better. I'm sleeping better. Definitely it's benefiting me in more ways than just my fiber addiction. So yeah, that's great. Look at that. It's so cool. I'm very excited about this. Okay. All right. Moving on. So those were fun, right? I am super excited about them. So I hope this is helpful for you in planning your spring knits. And if you have a fabulous pattern that you want to share, please put it down in the comments. We'd love to see what you're working on. And yeah, give somebody else some good ideas. Now you might be thinking that my plans sound a little ambitious, and to be honest, I think that too. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little hopeful that with these being smaller projects and like short sleeve tops and that sort of thing, that hopefully I'll make good progress because they're less involved than say a winter or a big heavy cabled sweater. We'll see how it goes. And you know, I can always postpone one or finish it later and wear it on the cruise, something like that. So yeah, fingers crossed. I hope it goes well. I have made a large commitment for the next several months, which will be taking up a lot of my non-work time. I'm hoping it doesn't cut into my knitting too much, but we'll just have to see, right? Knitting is a hobby and I enjoy it. And I sometimes get cranky when I don't get all my knitting time, but you know, we'll see. And you know, I'll keep you guys updated on how things are going. And yeah, we'll just take it as it comes. So, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.